What homes of the future looked like 70 years ago. From UFO pod homes to the House of Tomorrow. These residences were designed to push the outer limits of available technology, predict interior design trends, and embody the space race style of the 1950s and 60s made popular in TV shows like The Jetsons. Monsanto House of the Future, California, USA. Demonstrating the wonders of modern plastics, the Monsanto House of the Future was stationed at Disneyland's Tomorrowland in Anaheim, California, USA, from 1957 to 1967. The project was sponsored by Monsanto Chemical Company in 1953, and was carried out under the direction of Marvin Goody and Richard Hamilton of MIT's Department of Architecture. It was imagined that, in the future, we'd be living in mass-produced plastic housing, which they conceived as requiring no upkeep. Upon entering the mass-produced house of the future, visitors would embark on a tour of what the late 20th century would bring, such as pod-like rooms and a little-known invention called the microwave oven. Within 6 weeks of opening, the attraction welcomed over 435,000 visitors, with over 20 million sightseers crossing its threshold before the house was closed down. The Monsanto House of the Future closed in 1967, but it required more than a simple farewell to pass into history. The glass and reinforced plastic structure was too robust for demolition crews armed with mere wrecking balls, torches, and chainsaws. Choker chains were employed to demolish the house into smaller parts, while the concrete foundation still remains today, painted green and transformed into a planter. A sad end for an extraordinary home. Elvis's Futuristic Honeymoon Hideaway, California, USA. Well known for its spaceship-like dynamic form, this futuristic piece of Palm Springs architecture is famous for another exciting reason. The king of rock roll Elvis Presley lived here in 1966, leasing the so-called House of Tomorrow for 1 year when he was in his early 30s. The iconic Palm Springs pad was sold in 2022 for a shade under $5.7 million. The custom-built 4-bedroom and 5-bathroom family home was designed for Robert and Helene Alexander of the famed Alexander Construction Company in 1960. Featuring an ahead-of-its-time design, Look magazine deemed it the House of Tomorrow, after visiting in 1962. Elvis rented the space-age retreat for a year at $21,000. That's $203,000 when adjusted for inflation today. Inside, the living area features a curved wall of windows providing plentiful views across the terrace, pool and mountain views from a sunken area perfect for a party. The steel beaker-shaped fireplace hood and floating hearth are the futuristic centerpieces of the home. The 4,695-square-foot home must have been the perfect place for the jailhouse rock singer to unwind with his then-fiancée Priscilla. The iconic pair were reportedly set to marry at the Palm Springs home but had to hold a private wedding in Las Vegas once the press found out about their nuptial plans. After they'd tied the knot, Elvis and Priscilla reportedly took their private jet back to the House of Tomorrow in May 1967. Here they enjoyed their honeymoon before the Hollywood actor had to return to a movie set. The spaceship-like winged roof line houses 4 circular pods, while the primary bedroom suite features panoramic views from multiple curving windows. The home sits in the covetable Vista Las Palmas neighborhood of Palm Springs and was the largest building constructed by the notable Alexander Construction Company, which built more than 2,000 homes in California during the 1950s and 60s. What's more, it also boasts the largest pool too. Richard Neutra's Space-Age Treehouse, California, USA. Built in 1965, this Richard and Dion Neutra-designed home hides among the eucalyptus trees of LA's trendy Silver Lake neighborhood like a futuristic treehouse. Known as the Second Vanderlei Research House, VDL2, it stands on the same spot as an earlier Neutra design, which burned down. While the first iteration was an experiment in work-life balance, housing Richard Neutra's studio as well as his home, this version was a private residence for the architect and his family. Built on various levels, the home was designed with various features that were state-of-the-art for the time, including gold heat-reflecting privacy glass, a cutting-edge low-voltage system, and electric aluminum louver blinds. Built-in furniture and glass walls created the illusion of space and were popular mid-century design choices. As we can see, Richard and his architect's son Dion used windows and mirrors to make the most of views over the Silver Lake Reservoir and minimize the barrier between outdoor and indoor. The home has the feeling of an oasis, with a central indoor garden and a series of reflecting pools set over several levels of the house, including the rooftop. The water acted as an extension of the reservoir, which had shrunk considerably since the first house was built there in 1932. The home, which is now a National Historic Landmark, was a testing ground for new research, theories, and materials. It also proved how much space and interest could be fit onto a relatively small lot. Luckily for architecture fans, Neutra's wife Dion willed the house to the College of Environmental Design at the California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. As a result, the home is open for public tours. The House of Tomorrow, Indiana, USA. Located in Beverly Shores, Indiana, the House of Tomorrow was originally designed for the Homes of Tomorrow exhibition, part of 1933's Century of Progress International Exposition in Chicago, Illinois. With an emphasis on modern science and technology, architect George Fred Keck also aimed to create a symbol of optimism in the wake of the Great Depression. The search for a renovator. The three-story dodecagon building measures 42 feet in diameter and even hosts an airplane hangar, set 4 feet beneath the ground floor. Built using an aluminum fascia with vermiculite interior walls, its plate glass walls define the building's design. Discovery of solar heating. Inside, most of the rooms are wedge-shaped and designed around a central staircase within the dodecagonal prism structure. Each window was altered in order for residents to be able to adjust the internal environment. When architect Keck found workers in their shirt sleeves in the midst of a cold winter, he claimed to have discovered solar heating. The House of Tomorrow, Indiana, USA. While the House of Tomorrow has been vacant since 1999, it was declared a national treasure in 2016. Fast forward to 2023, and the National Park Service opened bidding to begin the first phase of the landmark home's renovation to begin in 2024, thanks to $4 million provided by the Great American Outdoors Act. Having been wrapped up in protective material for over a decade, we can't wait to see how it looks when it's finally unveiled. Charles Schrid's Motorola Homes Worldwide. The chic, futurist styles and architecture depicted in this gallery inspired a remarkable series of adverts for Motorola that ran between 1962 to 3. Commercial artist Charles Schrid based his imagery on plans designed by well-known architects of the day, and made sure to feature many of Motorola's electronic devices in his illustrations. See how many you can spot. The couple in this 1963 illustration can take in breathtaking views of the surrounding mountains via their glass dome roof and floor-to-ceiling windows, or they can just watch their favorite variety show on television. And that is, of course, a Motorola television, encased in a hyper-modernist wooden surround. This 1962 ad for a Motorola stereo hi-fi shows a couple relaxing in a round, glass-walled room. With its achingly modern form, sleek furnishings and position, standing high above a city, it would make a wonderful lair for a Bond villain. Set on the water, the home featured in this 1963 Motorola stereo hi-fi ad is every sailor's dream. It's a mid-century idyll of open-plan living, complete with floor-to-ceiling windows and wood and chrome furniture. However, it's the industrial central column that provides access to a jetty and waiting speedboat that takes this imagined home, literally, to the next level. Note the nautical bedroom complete with rigging and a hanging ship's lantern. The Bubble Palace, Thille-sur-Mer, France. Le Palais Bules, or the Bubble Palace, stands on a hillside in Thille-sur-Mer, on the French Riviera. Overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, the extraordinary pink home looks like a strange sea creature hiding among the trees. The futuristic mansion, made up of rounded rooms with rotating floors, took 14 years to build and was designed by Hungarian architect Antti Lovag. Completed in 1989, the otherworldly home was created from concrete poured around spheres made from metal rods and mesh. Up close, its portals, domes and curves resemble a giant octopus. The building's strange form is thanks to Lovag's free-thinking approach to design and his belief that a straight line is an aggression against nature. Indeed, he believed that architecture was a form of play, spontaneous, joyful, full of surprise, all of which is evident in the Bubble Palace. Thanks to its space-age design, The property has been used for events, filming, photo shoots, and even a Dior fashion show. Fashion designer Pierre Cardin bought the home in 1992 and hosted magical evenings and unforgettable parties there before his death in 2020. Its curves and its softness makes me see the shapes of a woman, of a mother, he told author Jean-Paul Hesse. That's why I feel good there. The quirky yet luxurious 13,000 square foot has 29 rooms, including 10 bedrooms and 11 bathrooms, as well as a reception hall, multiple pools and waterfalls, and a 500-seat open-air amphitheater. It was originally listed in 2016 with a price tag of €350 million, $380 million, before being listed again in 2020 for an undisclosed sum. Stahl House, California, USA. Designed by architect Pierre Koenig in 1959, the Stahl House can be found nestled within the Hollywood Hills of Los Angeles, California. Also known as Case Study Number 22, the house was built as part of the Case Study Houses program and remains an icon of modernist architecture. The glass and steel building cantilevers 10 feet over the Hollywood Hills, providing the illusion of an illuminated floating box. It is no surprise the building has featured in a multitude of films and music videos, offering a breathtaking theatrical backdrop of the city below. The home was owned by Buck Stahl, a graphic designer and sign painter who bought the plot in 1954 for just $13,500, which is about $158,000 in today's money. Stahl had originally planned to design and build the home himself, before hiring Koenig in 1957. His family still own the house today, and his children, who grew up there, now give tours to the public. Built in an L shape, the private rooms, like the bedrooms, are almost completely separate from the more public, entertaining areas of the home. In 1999, the futuristic architecture of the Stahl House was declared a Los Angeles Historic Cultural Monument, and was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2013. Thank you for watching.